Welcome into the Friday edition. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. Hope everybody's off to a wonderful start on this Friday morning. Joe Rexrode, how are you? What's going on?
Oh, all right. Just ready for the death storm. I'd like someone to tell me if you're going to get more than a quarter. So, I guess south up 40 is the ice area. North of 40 is more of the snow area. If you're going to get more than a quarter inch of ice, what is the likelihood you're going to lose power?
I mean, it's up there, I think.
Up there.
I saw a
give me a number.
Well, I saw a breakdown. Like, when it's half an inch of ice, like that's enough to basically snap trees, right?
Yeah.
So that's not good. I mean, anytime you're snapping trees, that's not good. 0.25, I think there's a chance power could stay on there. But people hear that and they're like, well, that's not that much ice. That's a lot of ice, man.
No,
it's not good.
Ice.
It's not the same as snow.
Yes. No, ice, that much accumulation is heavy as fart.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. It's Far. How we doing? What's going on?
Oh, good. Thanks. Just, talking about our impending doom.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, but overall pretty good. I kind of tuned out of the Preds last night, 3-0.
Ian had no faith.
Towards the end of the second, I was like, oh man, I'm tired. 3-0. All right, I'm out. I woke up, the little one woke up in the middle of the night. Yeah. So I get up. Well, check my phone. I get a text from my buddy. What a wild game. I'm like, oh.
So I missed a hat trick.
Might as well check the score. Preds won 5-3. How about it?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But I missed it. But hope everybody stay safe this weekend for real. Be careful.
Yeah, I mean,
get your stuff.
Check
your power. All the things. Don't go crazy, but have a plan.
Right. Like we've joked about the death storm coming in and all that stuff, but it's a big deal. Like it's going to be an interesting weekend here. And look, I'm not a meteorologist. I have no idea, how bad it's going to be, what's going to happen. But I think everybody's seen the weather picture enough to know at this point that it's worth paying attention to. And, we will do the best we can as a station to keep you as updated as possible throughout the weekend. But, probably going to be dealing with some significant winter weather, whether it's ice, freezing rain, snow, sleet, whatever it is throughout the course of the weekend. Probably going to see some combination of all of it. So just make sure you have a plan when that stuff's going on, because could be interesting this weekend. We, like I said, as a station, we will keep you updated as much as we possibly can on that front. And, I guess hopefully we'll have a show Monday morning. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Let's see what happens on that front. We got a lot going on the show today. Teron Davenport will be with us at 8 o'clock. We'll have another edition, I guess the second to last edition of Pigskin Pick'em for the year coming up later in the show today. You got the conference championship weekend in the NFL. We're not going to do Pigskin Pick'em for the Pro Bowl, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then the Super Bowl right after that. So we'll see what happens.
It's basically it's a dead heat. Ian and I we're just deciding who's buying your pizza.
I mean, technically you guys are still alive. It would take a significant collapse from me, but I think I'm 12 points up on both of you.
Yeah.
You're tied though.
Yeah. So there is still some drama left in Pigskin Pick'em.
There's some drama. We will get into that. But we do begin on the Nashville Predators, down 3-0 last night in game number 1,000 for Roman Josi. And it looked like it was just going to be a big dud from the Predators last night. And then all of a sudden, Steven Stamkos gets going, and he, at the end of the night, ends up with his 16th career hat trick in the NHL, moves to ninth place all time in the history of the league in terms of power play goals that have been scored. And the Predators get a big win, 5-3 last night. So a couple of different things, Joe. Number one, it was cool to see Roman Josi kind of have his moment last night. And I thought the crowd was really good, and the crowd responded in an appropriate way. And, his kids came in and were with him in the warm-ups and, read the lineup, and everybody on the team wore 59 jerseys out there. It was cool to see. So, the first Predator in history to hit that mark all with one team. So it was really cool to see that from him last night. Oh, by the way, he played 29 minutes last night. 29 minutes. Now,
make it count.
A couple of things going on there. Number one, he's playing really well right now. And, I said it yesterday. He's looked over the last few weeks basically like vintage Roman Josi. So that's good to see. The other part of this is Justin Barron is really bad. Like Justin Barron, we've talked about the Barron Alex Carrier trade and how that was not good from Barry Trotz. It's getting close to the point to me where it's like, I don't know how much longer you need to really give this a shot. Like it's not going well for Justin Barron out there. So he did not play a ton last night. He didn't play a ton the game before that either. And when you're having a defenseman that's occupying a spot right now that you're not very comfortable playing, that's not a very good thing. So Adam Wilsby's hurt. Justin Barron's out there, and it's not going very well. So all those things led to Roman Josi playing 29 minutes last night. Power play time factored in all that, of course, as well. But big-time stuff from Steven Stamkos. I mean, Stamkos got called for a penalty late in the first, a penalty that wasn't very good late in the second, where I just thought it was a bad call. Like him and Brady Tkachuk kind of got tied up there, and he got called for the penalty. He went nuts in the penalty box, got out of the penalty box when the period was over, and started skating towards the referees going into the referee tunnel. And that seemed to just really fire him up. And all of a sudden, he was unstoppable after that. He ends up with a hat trick. And that's a big result for a Predators team that was staring down the barrel of a third consecutive loss, which is not good this time of year when you're in the race that they're in. That's a big-time win for them last night.
Yeah, massive and amazing for Stamkos. Ryan O'Reilly, of course, a couple of those assists. Josi gets one too. Needed it bad to, like you said, to kind of just stabilize things and not turn all of a sudden, start going the wrong way with, as you've said before, not a ton of games before serious decisions have to be made.
Yeah, I mean, it's the weird thing with this group, and it's not even just the last two games things, although the last two have been pretty extreme. I mean, all year long, they've started poorly. Like they have, and we talked about this, I think, yesterday. They've fallen behind 1-0 a lot. I think more than anybody this year in the league. And over the last couple of months, they've been able to battle through that and come back, obviously, and get a lot of these wins. I mean, when they lost 2 in a row earlier this week, that's the first time they've lost 2 in a row since before Thanksgiving. So it's, they've been on quite a run here of even when you lose a game, they've responded well the next time out. And last night, I mean, you're looking at it's halfway through the third or the second period, and you're like, man, it's 2-0, or 3-0. They hadn't gotten anything going offensively, and they just look like they're kind of dead in the water right now. Are they about to just slide right out of this thing? And then, I mean, they pick it up, they turn it on, and right now, the power play is a big weapon for them. Like, I remember talking at the early part of the year, and it's like, well, all of last year, they never really got the power play going with any sort of consistency. You got a power play guru in Andrew Burnett as your coach. You get all these guys on the power play that have been really productive throughout their career. Why can't they get it going? And right now, that's probably the best part of their team. Their power play is really good, especially that top unit. I mean, the power play won them the game last night. And, obviously Stamkos is a big part of that.
Right.
But O'Reilly, they've kind of all that top unit of O'Reilly, Evangelista, Stamkos, Forsberg, and Josi are playing really well together right now.
And that's how it always should be, right? I mean, even when Stamkos has struggled, that's the one place where it's like, okay, there's a value, there's a threat there. But I mean, that's exactly what this team needs. They need that power play to be top shelf, to be elite, for them to be able to compete. It is, I mean, why are they such a slow starter? Do they have to preserve energy? I mean,
I don't think anybody in there knows.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, other than Buffalo, and I guess maybe to a certain degree last night, although last night I don't even think was the same. Buffalo on Tuesday, it looked like they were, I don't know if disinterested is the right word, but it just looked like they were skating in quicksand out there. And that's why you heard Forsberg as mad as he was after the game, because you could see it. Like, he was like, yeah, we actually needed to start trying as the game went on. And then they did, and they almost came back. Last night, it was more of a, the first half of the game, they couldn't get anything through Ottawa. Like, Ottawa did a nice job of shutting things down. And, I mean, the Predators barely had the puck for the first half of the game last night. And then all of a sudden, they take some penalties, you put them on the power play, and then you get your mojo going. Like, that's what the power play should be for this team in terms of the weapons that they have. I mean, I still don't know, even though Stamkos is absolutely on fire right now. You know what Forsberg is. You know what Yossi is. O'Reilly's playing great. I mean, O'Reilly's playing like a number one center right now. And at his age, you gotta appreciate that. So there's a lot to like about those guys specifically in the way that they're playing. But it's still not a team 5-on-5 that you're going to look at and be like, wow, yeah, Colorado, move aside. Here come the Nashville Predators. But when your power plays the weapon that it is for this group right now, I mean, I can win you some games. And that's exactly what happened last night. The power play won them the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, they still don't have, they don't have, enough the depth of scoring that you need to have. But I mean, Stamkos alone, I mean, when he's going like this, it just completely changes the team. And I mean, again, compare this to just early in the season, when it's just night and day.
I mean, I need to go back and find the actual stat, but I mean, I don't even know if the actual stat is important in this. I mean, you get the general idea of it. Like, I think he had, what do you have? Like 4 goals maybe in his first 22 games or something like that. Like it was, it was looking like, I think he had 5 points. It was 4 goals and 1 assist. It was like, man, I don't know what's going on here.
What if he just had a so-so start,
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like since then, since it started to click for him, I forget the exact number, but I want to say he's on like a 50 goal pace. Like if you extrapolated it out for 82 games, he's on like a 50-something goal pace. Like he's playing great right now. So, I mean, it's a couple things. I think he was a little bit unlucky to begin the year, but he's clearly changed some stuff up. He's getting to different areas. The power play is working right now. And, we were talking earlier in the year about none of it made sense to me. It's like, I know he hasn't forgotten how to shoot the puck. I know he's still a good offensive player. Now they're finding ways to get into the puck. And you've gone from, I think, a lot of Predators fans, at least that I've interacted with, have gone from, well, if they could find a way to get out of that contract at the deadline, maybe you do it if you're Barry Trotz. And now it's, well, good Lord, is this what he's going to be the rest of the time here? Because if he is, you're talking about a superstar player that's a future first ballot Hall of Famer that's playing at a 45-goal pace right now. Like you ain't trading that if you're Barry Trotz.
Of course, if you trade O'Reilly, then boy, take a big chunk of that superpower away. But yeah, like Matt from Fairview says, Robby, I know you think we should be sellers, but you can't forget about being the 16th overall seed, making it to the Cup. This team's got some weird juice. Believe.
Well, I mean, look, that's the decision that Barry Trotz is going to have to make. I hear you on that. And if that's the way they end up going, then that's the way they end up going. I am not the biggest fan of, well, get to the playoffs and anything can happen. That's the strategy, Now, again, tomorrow, assuming that they play, which as far as I know right now they're going to, tomorrow's a massive game. It's a huge game. Like Utah is coming into town. They're at 56 points. You're 4 points back of them. They're the number 1 wild card team. And in between them, you've got Seattle, San Jose, LA, all right there with you together. Like it's a massive game tomorrow for the Predators if they play.
Yeah, a massive would-be possible game. They probably will, right? That early, I think
so. I think
because
so.
It seems like it's really going to start advancing as Saturday goes, right?
I think so. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Like in terms of all that. I've had a lot of people ask me, like, are they playing on Saturday? Like, I have no idea.
I mean, a lot of basketball games are being moved up and stuff like that to early Saturday.
So. Welcome into the Preds in Mammoth. It's 8:30 in the morning. Here we go. I don't think they're going to change the game time, but that's just me. A lot of your thoughts to get to on the Preds. We will do that. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 615-737-1025. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts on my phone and text lines. My phone. No one else's phone. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. A lot of misspeaking going on for me earlier this morning, both on and off the air.
Well, you do have a personal text line.
I do. I'm not giving that phone number out.
You just have Stilly constantly.
Well,
saying dumb
that
stuff
already
to you.
happens. Yeah.
Leave us alone, Stilly.
That already happens. 615-737-1025. Preds win 5-3 last night after being down 3-0 to the Ottawa Senators. You know, multiple people bringing up the point. We've talked about Matt from Fairview, Vern's turn on YouTube, bringing up the same point of, don't forget, they made it to the Cup final as the 16th overall seed. Team's got some juice around here.
Yeah.
That did happen.
It did happen. It's not wrong.
Well, look, in all seriousness, I do think this has to be an interesting decision from Barry Trotz here, right? Because on the one hand, earlier in the year, you went to the Tennessean and was like, I need more from my players, and used some colorful language in there. And basically ever since then, and I don't know how directly tied the two incidents are, but since then, they've been one of the best teams in the league. I mean, if you look at the numbers, they're right up there with Colorado and all these other teams in terms of the amount of games that they've won since that time. Okay. So there's that where they've played really well and they've responded and they've crawled back into the race here. On the other side of things, Joe, they've crawled back into the race and they're right there with like 5 or 6 other teams that are all jumbled together. Well, not all of those teams going to make it, right? Like you're in a race. There's 2 wild card spots. And we've talked about this. The Predators are playing for 2 wild card spots. There are 3 spots in the division, barring a just absolute joke of a collapse down the stretch, are done. Like Colorado's at 77 points already. They're going to win the division. Minnesota's at 67 and Dallas is at 65. Well, you're probably not catching any of those teams. So that's 3 spots in your division that are taken up. You're battling right now if you're the Predators for the final 2 wild card spots. So you're in a jumble with, I would say, I don't know, 6 or 7 other teams for those spots right now. Like I'd probably cut it off. Like you're at 52 points. LA's at 53. San Jose's at 53. Seattle's at 53. Utah's at 56. And you got, Anaheim at the top of that division too. There's 6 teams right there. Below you is Chicago at 49. And really much past that, I'm cutting it off. Like Winnipeg ain't getting there this year. Calgary's done. St. Louis done. Vancouver definitely done. So there's a whole jumble of teams fighting for 2 wild card spots right now. So what you have to weigh if you're Barry Trotz is, all right, let's say you hold it together and you win, you get in. Well, you're playing Colorado or probably Edmonton, or maybe Vegas. But Colorado, Edmonton, or Vegas are going to be one of your opponents there. So how do you feel about beating those teams in a 7-game series? You got Colorado that's on a historic run right now. You got Edmonton, who when the playoff, I know that Edmonton has not really been able to gain a lot of traction this year in terms of I guess they keep winning like 2 in a row and then they'll lose 2 in a row.
They'll be there.
But it's Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the playoffs, right? Like we've seen what they do. And then the other one is Vegas. And, you beat Vegas once on the road this year. They just beat you the other day 7-2. And they've got Jack Eichel and Shea Theodore and Mark Stone and all these guys. So is it impossible for the Predators to beat one of those teams in the first round? No, it's not impossible. Is it likely? That's what this is part of Barry Trotz's job to figure out, like, okay, let's say you get all the way through this, you make the playoffs, and you lose in 5 games to Colorado. Is that worth it? Maybe to him it is. I don't know. I'm just throwing the question out there. Those are the questions that you gotta weigh if you're Barry Trotz.
Well, the people bringing up that anything can happen could also bring up that the Blackhawks were the number 1 seed and they were just, people thought they might rip through that playoff too in 2017, and we saw what happened. So as soon as you open that door, then all of a sudden it was a totally different field.
Now, I would also remind people that while that does happen in the NHL playoffs, what also happens? People thought the Predators were going to get absolutely killed. I remember, I think it was it Daryl Sutter who said that whoever placed Colorado in the first round that year they won the Stanley Cup, it was going to be a, quote, a waste of 8 days. Well, guess what? The Predators got in there, and I understand UC Saros was hurt for that series.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, if you watch that series, it wouldn't have mattered if UC Saros was playing in that series. They would have got swept.
They hung in game 2.
Yeah.
Game 2 was a really good game.
So that happens, that happens a lot too in the playoffs where you look at it and like,
it happens way more.
This team that should win goes out there and just absolutely steamrolls people.
The upsets happen all the time, but the massive break between teams, usually, the top seed, that way more often than not, it goes exactly the way you think it's going to go. Yeah, I think it just comes down to like redemption sitting here. It's like, as long, I just don't want Barry to buy. I don't see that.
I don't think he's going to buy.
I don't see that happening. It just comes down to like, do you let these guys keep O'Reilly?
Yeah,
and just see what they can do. Do they earn their way to that? And is that irresponsible to let them keep, because like that's the thing. It's a funny thing about all this is all happening while O'Reilly's playing really well.
He's really good.
While people around the league are like, my God, he's playing at such a high level. How much could that guy help us?
I've thought
so the value goes up while also the likelihood of, keeping the team together goes up.
Yeah. Like we've talked about him. I've told everybody for a while, they're going to, if they decide to move on from him and maximize on the value that he's going to bring this trade deadline, they're going to get a heck of a haul for him. Like, it's probably going to be first round pick plus. Like, I'm talking first round pick plus maybe a third round pick plus a pretty high level prospect. Like, that's where the bar kind of starts with him. So if you can get that, like, I think you got to think about it if you're Barry Trotz. And that's without him being on an offensive explosion that he's on right now. I mean, he's a point a game player. He's 50 points in 50 games. He's on pace for 82 points this year.
He's having his second good year.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he's going to tell the story, right? Of there's going to be heavy interest in him in the trade deadline. And there's probably going to be some offers that Barry Trotz looks at and says, whew, man, that's a pretty good offer. Do you pull the trigger on it or not? I mean, is it possible that they could hold on to O'Reilly and then kind of nibble around the edges, right? Maybe they trade off Michael Bunting or they trade off Eric Halla or something like that. Yeah, I mean, you're not getting huge returns for those guys. But, I mean, the story of what Barry Trotz kind of thinks of this is going to be O'Reilly, because this is absolute maximum value right now for Ryan O'Reilly.
I would also argue against moves like that, because it's like, if there's an offer you can't refuse, like, I have to. If you're gonna just make moves like that, then keep together the chemistry you have going. That's got you. You know what I mean? That's got you out of this hole. I don't like nibbling around the edges. To me, if they continue to win, to me is pointless.
Well, the other part of this
comes down to him, man.
It comes down to him. But the other part of this is also, I mean, those guys I just mentioned on the expiring contracts. You mean O'Reilly's not on an expiring contract? He's got another year after this, which, by the way, increases the value there. But you have him, Halla, who's on an expiring deal, McCarron, who's on an expiring deal. And I know some people would be like, well, it's Michael McCarron. Like, how much value he's going to get. I'm telling you, there will be heavy interest in Michael McCarron come trade deadline time, because he's huge and because he's really good at penalty killing and because he's really good in the faceoff circle. And there will be some teams out there that absolutely want that. And I'm telling you, if they decide to trade him, you're going to look at the return. You're going to be like, wait a minute. Predators got a second round pick for Michael McCarron. I'm just telling you right now. So you need to go ahead and prepare yourself for that. But as I've talked to some people kind of around the league about this. If you start trading all these people, like, somebody's got to play center, right? Like, somebody you got to close out the year. Somebody's got to be playing center for the Nashville Predators too.
Which, again, wouldn't be that. If it was going still the way it was going, then it's like, great, okay, it's the Milwaukee Preds, and sure, like, get some young kid, whatever, but it's not that. To their credit, it's not that.
Yeah.
Now it's really interesting, and Dustin from Hopkinsville is like, I just started watching them again. If they sell, I'm back out, and it's like, I mean, there's some fans. I get it. Like, it's fun to watch your team play well and win games like last night's game.
Yeah,
I get it.
No, look, after last year. And the way that this year started, it was like, man, they are wandering through the wilderness right now, and it's going to get bad. I still think long-term, you look at the outlook right now, and you're like, all right, well, if they do move on from O'Reilly, when's the next time they're going to have a, decently high-level center, right? Is Stamkos at age 35, is he going to be able to play like this for 2 more years after this? What are they going to do with Jonathan Marchessault, which I think is still a big question in all this. So by no means do I think that they've just absolutely figured everything out moving forward here, but they've made it interesting to their credit. So I think some real decisions coming up for Barry Trotz. I'm interested to see how he handles it. So see how it goes.
Yes. They're very intriguing. This season has gotten way more interesting.
Yes.
Than it was.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. 615-737-1025. We'll get back into the Preds a little bit later in the show. The Titans have made it official. There's some interesting photos coming out and some interesting statements from Borgonzi and others on the Robert Saleh front. We will get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025.
Ian, did you get that picture, man?
I sure did.
Paul, I don't know if Karski's doing any work on the Titans or whatever, but he finally got us a picture of the Jacksonville bathroom.
That urinal's about a foot and a half away from the sink. No divider.
Like, I wish we could share this. I mean, I guess I could put here. If you're watching on the show, I'm gonna show this picture to you that Karski randomly sent me late last night. Now, just look at this. Is this showing on the screen? Is this you guys seeing
Not
this?
really, no.
No? Do I need to go back?
Just hold
forward?
it straight up to it.
Closer? Is that working?
It's a little whitewashed.
Okay, wait. I'm
Great radio.
All right, this is really good radio.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah, it
maybe
doesn't
I'll
work.
post it on social.
There you go.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we can post it on. Yeah, that's not a good job. Now I'm watching myself do it. It's very bad. So yeah, like we've talked about it before. It's the press box bathroom, men's room in Jacksonville at Milky Pool Stadium, and seriously, like the urinal. There's a divider between urinals, but the urinal and the sink are like inches apart with no divider. Like there's splatter going both ways. I've been on both sides of that equation. Both of them are terrible.
I don't understand how somebody didn't look at that. It's like, you know what? We've got this partition between the urinals over here. We've got a sink and a urinal that are approximately 11 inches away from each other. Maybe we ought to put another partition in here. I don't know.
Yeah. You'd think they would have done
space
that.
out the urinal a little bit.
I've also probably 3 out of, I don't know how many times I've been there, but whatever. Like 3 out of 4 times you like leaks happen too. Like when you're sitting there, like all of a sudden leaks come out of the ceiling. It's quite a place.
Sounds like a great place.
No, it's really great.
I'm sure that pool's very hygienic down there too.
Oh yeah. Chlorine.
Oh man.
But hey, they won football games this year.
Yeah.
So give them credit for
did.
that.
They did.
Unlike the Tennessee Titans.
Keep their head up. Keep your head up down there, Liam. It's gonna be okay.
Don't be afraid, Liam.
The Tennessee
Robert Saleh's coming
Titans
for you.
have made it official. Robert Saleh is the next head coach of the Titans. So that would have been pretty awkward if he, I guess, wasn't the head coach of the Titans after we've been talking about it for a few days. But the cool picture yesterday, Joe, of Borgonzi and Saleh embracing, nice little handshake, still shot of the photo that's gone on there. Borgonzi put his statement out there about how excited he is to get to work with Robert Saleh. Says, quote, "On behalf of the entire Titans organization and the Nashville community, I'm thrilled to welcome Robert Saleh as our head coach. Robert embodies the fundamental values of what we believe a Titan should look like and represent. He's smart, tough, dependable, and values working with people. His innate ability to lead and respond to adversity is what makes him the right person to lead our football program back to whose identity embodies sustainable success. We understand the urgency to win and believe this is a step in that direction with a coach that is best equipped to accomplish our goals. The work has just begun, but I'm grateful for this partnership and excited to build it together." That was a statement from Mike Borgonzi on Robert Saleh.
Well, that's good they put statements out because it'll be a while before Robert Saleh. Of course,
And he put a statement out too.
he put a statement out too. You gonna read that? Go.
And you want me to read Amy's statement?
Yes.
I wonder, did this come from the facility or the foxhole? I don't know.
Is it a foxhole when you're hunting foxes? I think
I don't know.
That's in war.
I know it's in war. I don't know. I would assume the term came from somewhere. I have no idea.
I guess are they? Is that where foxes hide? Is that why they call it a foxhole? I don't know.
You have to ask Amy. I have no idea.
Wow, my mind is blown.
I mean, do I need to read Amy's entire statement?
Yes.
We're delighted to welcome Robert and his family to the Titans and firmly believe he's the right person for our team and community. We immediately connected with his competitive spirit and detailed approach to developing our players and team. Also, Robert's recommendations from across the league were overwhelmingly positive and were only reinforced during our time together. I want to thank Mike Borgonzi for his leadership during this process and acknowledge the work they've done by the search committee. They dedicated so much time, effort, and I'm thrilled with the results. And most importantly, I believe Titans fans will be too. Congratulations to Robert and his family, and welcome to Nashville.
I didn't know you were doing it all in your Amy voice.
Why last time I read something from Amy Adams Strunk and I didn't do it in the Amy voice, people got really mad.
People got mad.
On the text line.
Oh, well, yes, those statements are all fine. I I just have so many questions about this picture. Okay, like the Borgonzi Saleh. First of all, it does remind me of like when they hired Vrabel and like, but they had a video. They put out a video back then, and it was Vrabel coming off the plane and J-Rod, like the bro hug between Vrabel and J-Rob,
Yep.
which of course at that time was they beat the Chiefs, Malarkey's all, and people got mad at me because the first question after they beat the Chiefs was, you think you're going to get fired? From me. And he was like, be great if anybody supported me around here. Woo. But anyway, then the Titans social media was like, that is our coach, all over the place. And then they fire him 2 days later. It's like, new era, let's go. It's like, okay. But this is just a picture of Borgonzi Saleh starting a bro hug.
Now look,
Saleh with a very nice suit. Borgonzi looking like he's got like.
I just got out of the gym.
I cannot be bothered to put a suit on. He's got his baseball hat and his hoodie on. Looks like me doing this show. So, I mean, I guess it's not like he needed to dress up. It just interesting, there's no dress code over there.
I'm kind of proud of the Titans. I mean,
they didn't
do the video.
Yeah.
Like, the last couple hires they've made, there's been the video of them walking into the facility and, like the entire organization is just waiting there, standing and applauding. And look, it's not like the Titans are the only team that's done that because I've seen some other teams do that.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
But, I think it's a trend in sports that probably needs to stop. So
it does badly.
I'm glad the Titans didn't do that, or at least they didn't put that out.
I agree with you. But the thing is, then when you just have a still shot, you can like go down the rabbit hole or the foxhole of like just like because it really does. First of all, as people have pointed out, I already made the My Bodyguard reference. Like Saleh actually looks like the bully in My Bodyguard.
Yeah. And
it like Borgonzi looks like his maybe like his little brother or something, you know what I mean? It's like his little nephew here. Hey, it's again. I mean, I'm with you. It's probably better than doing the whole video thing. And please don't do the thing in the office, please. I beg of you, Titans. Like I'll accept the daily calls I get about the new stadium and getting tickets because I know that I've been doxxed by them. I'll accept that fine. I'll even start answering them and talking to your representative if you don't do the everybody clapping in the office.
What do we think Kuharski's first question to Saleh is going to be? How long will it take Saleh to be like, oh man, I don't know about this guy?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, Saleh might be, there's only one of these. I had like 40 of them up in New York. I don't know. It's a good question.
This is nothing down here.
See, the thing about Kuharski is when it's the honeymoon period, I mean, his questions are normally like, they're fine. It's not like he's like confident. It's just after a loss or something. If something starts to go bad, then you start getting into, what are you doing? And then the fun will begin.
Was that good to great, Mike?
Exactly.
615-737-1025, our phone number. Some names thrown out there yesterday in relation to the Tennessee Titans and the offensive coordinator position. We will get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025, The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Joe, some news in the NFL part of this. Fernando Mendoza has declared for the NFL draft. Diana Rossini, among others, putting it out there.
Okay.
But, Fernando Mendoza going to the NFL draft. Not
Good
very
thing.
surprising.
No, Mark Davis was ready to give him his signing bonus from the sideline the other night. So it's probably a good thing.
He probably is.
Good luck with the Raiders, son.
Probably is. Congratulations to Fernando, the number 1 pick in the draft coming up.
Fernando, I know you're not used to losing. You need to get used to losing
It's
again.
time for you to potentially get used to that. See how it goes. Tom Pelissero put this out there yesterday, Joe. Some names of interest through offensive coordinator options for the Titans. Now, we know about Brian Daboll, right? Diana Rossini put it out the other day that if Brian Daboll is not the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, then he is expected to become the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. This is what Tom Pelissero said yesterday. The Titans continue to work through offensive coordinator options with Cliff Kingsbury, Arthur Smith, Brian Daboll, Adam Stenavich, and Bobby Slowick among the potential options per sources. All have OC experience as Robert Saleh looks for the right man to work with quarterback Cam Ward. So, again, Daboll completed his interview with the Bills yesterday for the head coaching spot. Bills have some more work to do on that front. I think they're interviewing Mike McDaniel today. So we'll see what decision they end up coming to on the head coaching front. In the meantime, if you're the Titans and you're sorting through the options here, let's say Daboll becomes head coach of the Bills. What do you do at offensive coordinator at that point? What do you make of those names that Pelissero threw out there? Kingsbury, Arthur Smith, Daboll, Stenavich, and Bobby Slowick.
Yeah, they all make sense. I think we've talked about all of them at different times. So those are all sensible possibilities. Again, you get into, does consistency of scheme matter? I don't think it should be top of the list. But again, it's interesting to me to think about, like I talked about yesterday, different offense. When you go to, if you go to a Daboll, as opposed to this offense that you've been connected with for basically your whole career in the NFL. So, and most of those guys are on the side of his background of offense. Slowick's really interesting to me, just because it feels like people have now come around to, okay, well, Maybe Bobby didn't screw everything up. I saw C.J. Stroud the other day was saying his defense is so good that that's somehow like part of why he's struggling. And fire the defensive coordinator then too. It's their fault. You're too good. So it seems like Slowick, the public sentiment on him is improved. Again, public sentiment is one thing, and what's the real deal with him? Obviously, he was the toast. The guy would be a head coach somewhere now, or maybe he would have been fired as a head coach by now somewhere, but would be would have gotten a head coaching job if he wanted one. If after the 23 season, he could have gone out there and got one of those. He could have been like Callahan during that cycle, right? So he's interesting, but the Daboll thing, again, like Diana reported that to me, that suggests that like he's the clear top choice.
Yep. Yeah. That would be what that suggests to me. Of these names, Kingsbury, Smith, Daboll, Stenavich, and Slowick, only one of them hasn't called plays, right? So Stenavich is the one in that mix that has not called plays. Now, Pelissero doesn't say here that this is where the list is limited. He said among the potential options. So it's not like it's these 5 guys, but it is meaningful to me that he named those 5.
Yeah,
right.
These are the names he's getting.
Those are the names he got. Of those 5 names, only one of them has not called plays. It is interesting though. Like I think when you look at the backgrounds of these coordinators, like Kingsbury and Arthur Smith are pretty different, right? Bobby Slowick comes from a system that Robert Saleh is obviously very familiar with. But Daboll, we talked about that yesterday. Like, there's not really they don't run the same offense. It's not the history of Saleh's offensive involvement there, which again, it just because Robert Saleh has not been a part of a coaching staff that's run an offensive system that Cliff Kingsbury ran or an offensive system that Brian Daboll ran or whatever, doesn't mean you can't hire him
right
at that point. But it is interesting, I guess, the variety of those 5 names right there in terms of their background in the NFL.
Yeah. So again, we heard. So apparently Zach Rosenblatt is the one who went on DVD and talked about the personal relationship of Dayball Saleh. I still am stunned that I can't on the internet find like things written about this. It's like actually kind of shocking. But apparently some sort of connection, and it made sense. I mean, they were apparently lived in the same neighborhood, and they were both, of course, going to that bleep hole in New Jersey on a daily basis, and so they have some I guess shared connection there. So, and then you get into, okay, so you waiting?
Yeah.
Like, how serious is Buffalo thing? Is he good enough? Is it important enough to wait for him? And I do wonder, with Dayball, I wonder about guy who has been a head coach now, stepping back to OC with the personality we've seen from him at times. That there's nothing wrong with being a fiery coach and stuff like that, but like he's had serious stuff like with his own coaches when he's with the Giants. It's like, man, it's, you're bringing in kind of a fireball if you do that.
Yeah. And, Arthur Smith is interesting, right? Like, obviously he's had success here before as an offensive coordinator. Now, since then, what's it been like, right? He's gone to Atlanta to be the head coach. We know how that went. Pittsburgh as OC, he's okay, right? I mean, you had Rodgers at age 42. You had DK Metcalf that was okay in Pittsburgh this year, and then obviously at the end of the year he gets suspended, so that's not good.
They looked real bad on offense when they didn't have him.
Well, they had a bunch of guys out there, right? Like not homegrown star players. Like they picked up Kenneth Gainwell out there, and he was a good story for Pittsburgh this year. But it's not like they were loaded with offensive talent.
Help me get the title game fantasy.
That's good. It's good.
Thanks, Gainwell.
That is good. But it's not like they're loaded out there in terms of the quality of players that they have. So, like, how is Arthur Smith viewed right now? Obviously, I mean, people naturally make the connection here because there's familiarity. I would assume that Robert Saleh is not interested in Arthur Smith just because he's been here before. I would assume that there's legitimate interest in his skill set as an OC.
Yeah, that'd be it. Just like, who cares? I mean, really. Oh wow, Arthur knows when Brinker is going to set the timer to put the sprinklers on. I mean, actually, that's wrong because Arthur and Brinker weren't here together. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just about his competence as an OC. And I will say, for his time in Pittsburgh, I think Justin Fields probably looked as much like an NFL quarterback as he has looked under Arthur Smith for that 1 year, right? I mean,
sure,
he had some good moments. I mean, they given the situations, I think he's done pretty well. It's just, and the whole thing with Atlanta is like, why didn't like their key playmakers get the ball more and all that stuff? But I also think that's a quarterback thing. I don't think it would be bad to hire him. Again, it's like, I guess, how much does it matter to have any sort of pre-existing relationship? People hate the buddy hire thing, but I also think that there's value in like having trust and being able to, okay, let's go. Let's hit the ground running instead of let's get to know each other and stuff. Okay, let's go around the circle. My name's Art. I'm a billionaire, yet I'm still coaching football.
Of those five,
Hi, Art.
Of those five names, which one excites Titans fans the most? Which one makes Titans fans the most mad, do you think? I know I have a pretty good idea about which one makes them most mad. It would be Stenavich. For no other reason than he's never called plays.
Yeah. I think some people would also just not be excited about Kingsbury. I think Kingsbury, I don't think that would be a bad hire. But Kingsbury rubs people the wrong way, like you, for example. So I think the most excited, I guess, would be Dayball. Is that right? I guess it's like, you could have a chance to get a head coach who does get a lot of credit for Josh Allen. I mean, like, he does get a lot of credit, and he must deserve a good chunk of credit, right?
You would think.
That's probably number one, right? I think so. But again, to me, McDaniel would have been the So he's out there. He's not committed to Harbaugh. You're telling me?
The reporting is he's interviewing for the Bills job today. So I don't think he signed the deal to be the offensive coordinator. I think the understanding is if he doesn't land a head coaching job that he wants, that he's going to go be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers.
So Harbaugh, Jim, not John, might get. He just got his D coordinator Jesse Minter ripped from him. I mean,
isn't that weird from Baltimore? sign mentor with such connections to the Harbaughs like that?
Well, it's like they're trying to screw over the Harbaughs where they like fire John and go rip the D coordinator out of Jim's hands. And then what if Jim also doesn't get McDaniel? My goodness. Tough week for the Harbaughs, I guess, other than the one who got the Giants job.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah, they'll be okay. But Jesse Minter, by the way, like I swear it was like 3 years ago that like I was at Vandy's signing day and he was sitting in there. Hey man, it's so great. Oh, it's so awesome. You just signed. It's great, man.
Now
Like,
he's the
you're
head coach
the
of the
Ravens head coach.
Kind of amazing.
Wild.
Let's head to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Chad in Hendersonville to the program. Chad, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, good morning, guys. Wanted to talk a little. I see Brian Callahan's close to becoming the potential offensive coordinator of the Buccaneers. Not sure what the story is here, but I want to suggest this, and I'm curious real quick what y'all's thought is. You know, I was at a middle school game the other day, high school game, then the Predators game. Is there ever going to be a time? Now, I love America, so let's don't jump to any conclusions here. Is there ever going to be a time where we're going to maybe get some variety with the national anthem? Like, can we get Vince Gill or somebody maybe to rewrite one and we can maybe mix it in? Maybe, you know, God bless, you know, the America sportsman, something.
You want to rewrite the national anthem?
No. God, no. But I'm talking about, we keep the national anthem, but is there ever going to be, are we going to do this 100 years from now? Or is there going to be a time where we could maybe mix another, can we have it like a national anthem 2? Can we go like the A version? Or is there ever going to be a B version? Or are we just going to do this, just wash, rinse, repeat for the rest of our life? Not saying, you know, not being anti anything here. I'm just saying, is this what we're stuck with until the end of time? Your thoughts?
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Joe, I mean,
I said we weave in a little Baby Got Back as anthem 2. We can rotate.
I mean,
I don't know what to say. I don't know, man. I got too many issues to get there, man.
I did not think that was going to go that way.
I know.
Me either.
He's like, I love America and all, but
me either.
Interesting.
I mean, is he just not a huge fan of Francis Scott Key and the lyrics? That
I will say, I think that there's a case to be made. Like, do you have to play the anthem before every single game? Ever?
Well, I have wondered this before, and again, I guess I need to clarify with Chad too. I also love America, so it's good point out.
Yeah, yes.
I have wondered before. Like, I was sitting there one time at a Predators game. I was like, why is it that like in no other walk of life we do this? Like, it's always just before a Predators or a sporting event that we're like, yep, national anthem, baby, let's go.
But like at least college and pro games, like you have band will do it, or
Yeah.
be like a really good artist. But like it's like you go to like a JV
What
basketball game.
But
it's
what I'm saying is like,
you're just playing it out of the loud. It's like probably.
but I guess
just play the game.
What I'm saying is like, you know, we don't do it walking into work. We don't do it in like the grocery store. It's like the sporting event. That's where we do the national anthem.
We do it before our show.
We do.
Some beautiful renditions.
Yes, people are very, very happy with most of them.
Yeah.
A couple in particular, maybe not. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We will continue the conversation on the Tennessee Titans. A lot of your thoughts to get to on the offensive coordinator front. More on that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. A lot of thoughts on the last caller on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
They're not very kind thoughts.
Not.
I just want you to know, Chad.
Look, I mean,
their thoughts, not kind.
I kind of respect the. I mean, did he have the expectation that this program was going to have the power to change some of this? Like, if you are looking for, I guess, another rendition of the national anthem,
got to start the conversation somewhere, man. You know,
like,
the grassroots
you know where I'm
effort.
going to go to get this start. Robby and Rexrode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
They'll get it done.
We set policy in this country.
Yeah, they'll get it done.
Yeah, Keith. That's a pretty great one by Keith.
Yeah.
The Lord's Prayer, a little bit old. We really going to do this forever? Remix it.
Let's just change it up. Change it up a little bit. So, interesting stuff.
A lot of possibilities out here.
People asking your thoughts on having Scott Stapp rewrite God Bless America. I don't even know if he needs to rewrite it. Let's just get a rendition of it. Yeah.
Just totally butcher the entire thing. Sounds great.
The disrespect.
We haven't ripped him in a while. I haven't ripped
Again,
him
the we
yeah, I know,
keeps coming out. I've never ripped it.
I'm
sorry.
Ever. I know. Yeah, we got a lot of suggestions here.
We do. We do.
And some of them are for Chad to do things to himself.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll take more of your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. The Titans offensive coordinator position still out there in the open. We'll see what happens on the Brian Daboll front. By the way, if you were wondering, PK putting it out there yesterday that Nick Holtz not being retained by Robert Saleh as offensive coordinator.
That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't have a job anymore, and that's fine. It's all good.
See you guys. So I didn't know Brian. Well, Chad said Brian Callahan, OC, incorrect. But I didn't even know he was up for that job. But Zach Robinson got the job.
Yeah.
So Brian Callahan, he's out there.
Well, is he going to end up in Atlanta?
I guess not. Bill Callahan's like, no, we don't need to interview that guy. I'm good.
You don't want him here. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was a pretty good
Zach
offensive
Robinson,
line coach before, and then he came around, and that's it.
Yeah. And he and Nick, the kid I used to drive them to the mall so I could get Cinnabon. And it really screwed my career up. But Zach Robinson, of course, was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So a lot of AFC NFC South swapping around, maybe.
Maybe so. Noah
from Adams says, "Oh, Canada is by far the superior anthem." Uh-oh.
I don't know about that.
Uh-oh. We don't need to get into an anthem battle today. Now we got Carl Lewis, Fergie, some great renditions. We should.
Carl Lewis, pretty good one.
Roseanne Barr had a nice one too. But you need the video of the crotch grab to really get the.
Really,
full effect
now that I'm
it.
thinking about it, there really have been some pretty special performances of the Star Spangled Banner.
Really,
we've had some really nice ones over the years.
If you're gonna do it before every game, you're gonna have some doozies.
Doozies out there. Oh man, I did not expect this to go this way, but the text line is absolutely blown up on this. My goodness.
See, I mean, this is a chasing a big Joe question of the day. That could have been a question of the day. Do you hate America, and would you like to get rid of the national anthem? What's your JV
guys,
national anthem?
You guys ever thought about this before? Could we redo the entire national anthem? The Carl Lewis one is the absolute best.
Hold on.
Man.
You know who was, by the way, who was actually amazing? Did anyone remember when Stackhouse sang it before the
yes
Vanderbilt?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was in the press box. He came up in the press box, and I was like, dude, that was incredible. He was awesome.
Maybe in the highlight of his coaching.
It might have been
at Vanderbilt.
That was the height.
Dustin from Hopkinsville says, I get not retaining Wilson because it's not a sales message his way. He needs to assert the leadership of this team, and someone needs to come after Saleh not existing. But Wilson will not be employed very long, I don't think. I am interested, on the Denard Wilson front. How quickly does he get another coordinator job?
Yeah, I kind of feel like because unless I missed something, but I kind of feel like possibly with the Giants, right?
Could be.
That would kind of make sense. No, he's good. He's a good coach. I think he's, he need to get him in a better situation. You have to be impressed with what he did this year. I mean, he seriously was like just here's another guy gone and another guy gone and another one, and here's some guys you've never heard of that you're starting them Sunday. Good luck.
Well, and by the way, a lot of people have been clamoring that Robert Saleh needs to hold on to John Fossil, and that is happening.
Yes.
John Fossil is sticking around as special teams coordinator. So, I mean, that's good. I think the ability to come in, number one, Fossil, the willingness to stay, because I would assume that he could have some options out there if he wanted to. But number two, the ability of Saleh to come in and be like, yep, I think I want to hang on to that guy. And I don't know how much of that was him, how much of that was like Borgonzi being like, yeah, man, this guy's pretty good. You might want to consider hanging on to him.
I'm sure. And I'm sure he's got a reputation and a well-earned one. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, the thing with Wilson, Dustin's saying, like you said, want to be employed. I get it. Also, if you're Wilson and you're flipping around, so now you're not going to call plays. Like if I'm Denard Wilson, so I'm not going to call plays. So it's almost like even if the defense does get a lot better and stuff, it's not, and that's got to be hard to go for that. You want to be able to be a D coordinator and actually be a D coordinator. So he'll go somewhere and do that. And I wouldn't be surprised in a few years if he's got serious head coaching possibilities. You just have to go to the right place where you have enough players to actually perform.
Well, and on the Fossil front, I think when you start listing the biggest turnarounds from Brian Callahan's first year to this past season, I mean, you have to start with special teams, right? Like it was night and day different.
Incredible.
And it was, it wasn't perfect. They missed some kicks. But I mean, think about how much of an issue special teams in general was the year before when you're talking about, obviously, I mean, the blocked punts being a big problem, but even coverage, right? Like they couldn't cover anybody on kicks. I mean, I think back to that Detroit game where they got beat 1,000-0, and it was the offense for Detroit lighting them up, but it was special teams, just a total disaster in that game. And it happened way too, like through the course of a 17-game NFL season, special teams being a problem in like 10 of them is just an amazing accomplishment. And the fact that they turned that around as quickly as they did this year speaks very well of Borgonzi and the guys that they put in there on special teams, but I think particularly speaks very well of John Fossil.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions about how much coaching matters, I mean, just look at that. Like, it's not like the Titans got, a whole bunch of just amazing special teams aces in here. It's just, and yes, you're talking about the contrast is bigger because of how bad it was. But again, he turned it into an edge for them, which I never would have guessed would have happened. So that's a very good thing. And well, apparently he also was like Mike McCoy's primary advisor on everything.
I guess so.
Hey, Jim, what should we do?
What do you reckon we should do on this play here?
Is Garza going to get mad at me if I punt here? What do you think?
615-737-1025, our phone number. It is conference championship weekend in the NFL. We will get into those matchups. Coming up next, we will pick those matchups later in the program in Pigskin Pick'em. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. I have the Rob Rant coming up at 7:45. Teron Davenport will be with us at 8 o'clock. We'll get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. Joe, Conference Championship weekend this weekend in the NFL. The Patriots taking on the Broncos on the road. The Rams traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Patriots a 4.5-point favorite on the road. Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. The LA Rams will try to go into Seattle and get a win in the NFC title game. Seattle's a 2.5-point favorite in that one. So we've got a lot going on this week, Joe, with the Titans, the coaching surge, and the offensive coordinators and all those things. We haven't spent a ton of time talking about the actual championship game matchup. So let's start in the AFC. I mean, obviously, it's a bummer that Bo Nix can't play in this game. They're going to have Jarrett Stidham, as Charles Robinson said yesterday. Charles Robinson, who, by the way, is picking the Broncos to win this game with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback at home. They have a great defense. They have, in my opinion, probably the best cornerback in the game in Patrick Surtain. He's really good. They've got a pass rush that has been right near the top of the league over the last couple of years here. So it's a fierce defense that Denver has. Now, we've also seen, as good as that defense is, when Josh Allen wasn't dropping the ball last week, moved the ball pretty well against that defense. So how do you handle that in terms of your evaluation of all this? And what do you make of this game with Jarrett Stidham standing in the way of Mike Vrabel making a Super Bowl appearance in year one in New England?
Yeah, I went into the playoffs thinking and saying here, like, I don't think either of these teams are ready. I think, we're going to see both of them down the road possibly make runs. I definitely felt even stronger about that with the Pats, just because I just think that Drake May has a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, for a while here. But here they are. They're both playing. Buffalo screwed it up, and obviously we didn't even have Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. We didn't even have Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And so it's just a wild year in the AFC where I think someone can be ahead of schedule. And it's just, to me, if the Patriots don't get there, beyond what that means for all of us, I'm sorry. All due respect to Jarrett Stidham, but I don't want to watch him play in the Super Bowl. But also, that's just such a missed opportunity for the Patriots. They have to win this game. And I don't think it'll be easy. I think it'll be a very tight, low-scoring defensive game that'll come down to the fourth quarter. But, you got to find a way to win this game. You have the better quarterback. He's only second year, but he's possibly going to be the MVP, and that should make the difference to me in this game. The thing about Drake May is, and I guess it's kind of like Caleb Williams, that you watch Caleb Williams, we'll be talking about that play that he made, that throw he made, and then I guess people might forget that it came in a loss in which he threw 3 picks. Drake May turns it over too much too, especially I think running the ball. He's got to protect the ball, man. Yep. Guy is a fumbler. And obviously with that Denver defense, that's the whole key to them winning the game, to me, is turning him over.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to probably steal a few possessions away. And, probably one of those is going to have to involve stealing a possession away, getting it close. Because the other part of this, the people are so focused on the Jarrett Stidham part of this, and I get it. New England's defense is also really good. New England's got a very good defense. And, Charles was talking to him yesterday about, the game plan for Denver. You got to be able to establish some sort of running game in this, which I agree with. I just think that's going to be really hard to do against New England. New England is stout defensively, and they've played that way so far in the playoffs here. So, I mean, it's got a chance to be a pretty low-scoring game there. I haven't looked at the weather in Denver. I mean, the weather everywhere else in the country is going to be bad, so we'll see what the forecast looks like in Denver. But I'm looking at it now. It's going to be 22. And I guess there could be a little bit of snow floating around there in Denver.
Windy?
Light snow, not very windy.
Okay.
So
that's good. At least they can play.
Yeah. So it's cold. Not that should matter to either one of these teams because they live in the cold.
It is kind of lucky, by the way. Someone earlier texted, what if the Titans had an AFC title game on Sunday? It is kind of lucky that the 2 games that we're talking about this weekend are in Denver and Seattle, and nowhere east of the Mississippi, where basically it's just Death Storm 26 on the way.
Yeah, I mean, somebody asked us if they would play this weekend. I don't know. I mean, the Preds are supposed to be playing tomorrow, so I have no idea.
But no one can tell us, and I'm not complaining, but no one can tell us for sure how bad this is going to be. Like, I'm sitting here like, do we need to go to New Orleans for the week?
You're just trying to find an excuse to get down there
I
and
know.
get some of that shellfish.
Yeah. Well, you know that I ate crab legs on Katie's birthday. We made crab legs for dinner. And I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't do this, but my God, look at that butter sauce. A lot of people are asking about the gout. I did not have a gout attack. But yeah, now you know, you got to be careful.
And then on the other side of all this, the later game, a game that I think if you've watched these two teams play this year, you got to be pretty excited about, the Rams and the Seahawks. It's, you know, Stafford having a chance to continue to add to his legacy. He's already won one Super Bowl in LA, a chance to punch his ticket and get back to the other one. And then, you know, he didn't have to do much in the divisional round because the game was over with. It felt like about 35 seconds into the game when Seattle just blasted San Francisco. But I would imagine in this one, Joe, if Seattle's going to win, that it's going to require a few big plays throughout the game from Sam Darnold here. So it's a big Darnold game from the standpoint of it's the NFC title game. He's had a great year again. You know, at the end of last year in Minnesota, he fell apart in the last regular season game and then wasn't good in the playoff game, and that was it. Like I said, he didn't have to do much last time out against San Francisco because of how dominant Seattle was in that game. So I guess number one, is Seattle just going to be that dominant again? And number two, when push comes to shove in this game and he has to make some big plays, can Darnold step up to the moment and do that?
Yeah, I think for sure this is I don't know. I guess maybe he still has to win it, but if he wins this game, I think we can put all that stuff to bed, right?
I believe so.
I think so. And if I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm confident in him. I don't feel like he has to go for like 350-3 with no turnovers for us to have a chance to win. Not with our defense. Now with Kenneth Walker playing the way he is, he killed the Niners in that game. You know, of course, you get that special teams touchdown right away and sets the tone. But it's also the last time these two teams played, the Rams really kind of kicked their butt in Seattle, and then a lot of stuff had to lead to that game being squandered, or else the Rams might have had home field themselves throughout the playoffs. So I kind of like them. I don't want to give away my picks and pick 'em picks because, you know, I know you guys really wonder what I'm going to do because I've been really good at it this year. But I do kind of like the Rams, I feel like. And again, it's kind of – I guess it's kind of the same thing. It's oversimplifying, but the Rams do have the better quarterback.
They do have the better quarterback. Now, Stafford struggled last game. Now, he made a few big throws. I mean, the throw he made to Devontae Adams on the sideline over there that Adams somehow got that second foot down, it was ridiculous. So, I mean, there's still – in a game last week that was cold in Chicago, Stafford struggled. He still came up with some huge plays in that one. I mean, it's going to be cold in Seattle. It's not going to be like that cold. Like, it's going to be, I think, in the high 30s as the game is going on, high to mid 30s. And, you know, it's a different deal than what they were dealing with last week in Chicago with some snow out there. So it's not like Matthew Stafford has never played in the cold before. You know, he was in Detroit. I understand they've got a dome, but you're playing on the road in Green Bay. You're playing on the road in Chicago at that point. So he's got some experience in the road part of this. I mean, remember last year they played in that snow fest in Philadelphia in the playoffs, and they were a drive away from winning that game too. So I'm interested to see how Stafford responds in this one.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely something going on, but it's so weird because, like you said, then he'll rip a throw that you're like, oh, wow. But like the strange misses are not what you're used to with him. And he's got something going on. And, you know, if he's a little bit healed this week, then maybe you clean that up and he looks more like the surgeon that he's been all year.
615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025. We got the Rob Rant coming up at 7:45. Teron Davenport at 8 o'clock. Pigskin Pick'em, where we will pick these games, coming up at 8:30. So looking forward to that. Get into some college basketball coming up next, including a story that Rexrode mentioned yesterday that is certainly drawing the attention nationwide. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025, the game. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Got some Preds tickets to give away. See the Preds take on the Utah Mammoth tomorrow at Bridgestone Arena, 2:30 puck drop. To caller number 3, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Caller 3 will win a pair of tickets to see the Preds take on the Utah Mammoth at Bridgestone Arena coming up tomorrow. We'll have the Rob rant here in just a few minutes. No ramp involved.
Ramp up to the Rob rant.
We'll see what happens. Joe, you brought up the Charles Bediako story yesterday in Alabama. Alabama playing Tennessee this weekend. That is tomorrow night. I believe it's 7:30. And as far as I know, Charles Bediako going to suit up for Alabama and be playing in this game after he declared a few years ago for the draft, was not drafted, has played in the NBA's G League since then, and now is coming back to college basketball to try to play, which, by the way, I think every coach in the nation is like yelling about now, and then there's all sorts of reaction to it, and it's a big national story now. So
right, every coach in the nation, but then again, like Nate Oates a few weeks ago complained when Baylor signed a similar situation, but again, the difference being the Baylor signing was someone who'd been G League but had never signed an NBA contract,
right.
And that's the NCAA says that's the line, signing an NBA contract. Well, now Nate Oates has done that. So coaches complain until they're like, oh, well, I mean, Alabama, very good team. I mean, Alabama's used to being like they've gone to the Final Four now, like they're used to being, and where they really are lacking because of injury in part is in the interior. So this would potentially make a pretty big difference for them. And so I said this yesterday, and we played Mark Pope. A lot of other people have talked about it. Seth Greenberg has talked about it. You know, there's a lot of conversation about, and I love the idea, a lot of conversation about, okay, well, if you're going to do this, then you will pay for it because the NCAA is you will have played that may not be like, you can't stop them from playing, but you can rule somebody ineligible. The problem with that is in the TRO, the temporary restraining order, it is very clearly stated there cannot be retribution against Alabama. So that's one thing. When I talked about this yesterday, I did not realize a lot of people kind of, Seth Davis, a lot of others, like kind of pointing that out. Like, yeah, read this. You can't do that. You can't. It's pretty clearly stated. Also, and I want to make sure I have this properly credited because this just is another beautiful little addition to this story. The judge is a donor. I mean, it's a Tuscaloosa judge, so I guess it's not like some shocking thing, right? But still, like, he's actually officially a donor to the program.
Don't worry, Coach. I'll get this taken care of for you.
Yeah. Big House Casagrande is the one who, is a donor. He's the one who reported this. So it just looks great. And again, it's going back to him for the hearing, so it's just like, it's bad. It's bad. And again, I would agree with actually what I heard from Bruce Pearl yesterday. I heard this. I actually went on Feinbaum yesterday. I guess Feinbaum hasn't heard my wonderful
humble brag
impersonation. Yeah, well, fine. I'm very sorry, Indiana. You're wonderful. I think my Feinbaum, my Mike McCoy are like exactly the same. I gotta distinguish those.
Somebody said my Kuharski and my Amy Adams Strunk are pretty similar. I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that. No. I mean, in both cases, you do the thing that I don't do, which is back away and yell, which is a way better way to do it.
I don't back away with Amy.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
Amy,
true.
Amy, you gotta lean in a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you get real close to the mic. But
there's a fox out there making its way right toward me.
Foxhole. There's really it's just a war thing.
Foxhole is right around the corner.
I need to know if that's like when you're hunting foxes, like. I guess that's what you look for.
I've heard of the fox's den. I don't know about the foxhole.
We really need to get into the nuances of fox hunting. And also I've completely Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so no, he played this and then Dan Wetzel wrote something at ESPN. And I mean look, the whole Congress save us, it's just a joke. The NCAA, it's their whole strategy, right? I mean, their whole strategy is Congress, please save us. In the meantime, we're going to make these stupid arguments in court, the the college sports can't go on if players are paid because then no one will watch anymore. Like that was seriously like their essential like defense for years. They spent millions and millions for lawyers to argue that stupid point and then get their ass kicked time and time again in court. But I will say what Bruce Pearl said and Dan Wetzel said, is there any possibility for a very, very narrow piece of legislation, which is just, again, just about the NBA, whatever the wording is exactly, to keep, essentially the NBA players who have been to the NBA, signed with the NBA, be no longer eligible for, like, is that possible? If not, then I think we're just going to keep seeing this. And like we talked about yesterday, we might just start seeing just a shuttle system between the NBA and college basketball. It's like, yeah, all right, I'll go play a little college here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Got about $100K for the next month. Go play a little college hoops for my alma mater. I got a little eligibility left. I mean, it's, the possibilities here are really not great.
As somebody on the text line pointed out, did you see Todd Golden's comments on this?
Did.
The Florida head coach.
I did. Talking some trash.
Talking
Todd
about
Golden.
Alabama says, quote, "We're going to beat them anyway. If he plays, we'll just beat him anyway." I like that. I like that.
I like it too. He's I like everything about Todd Golden, but yeah, I like that. I like that. Well, by the way, speaking of trash talk, I forgot to bring this up last time. Did you see what Sean Payton said?
No, I did not. I don't think.
Well, he was like telling fans. Basically, he's talking about like fans coming out, or whatever. But he's like, then you got, or like you really want a great atmosphere because you got 2 weeks to rest before the Super Bowl. Basically, is what he said. So it's a sort of like a soft guarantee of victory. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Yeah, Ethan from Lawrenceburg. Go get
Vrabel's got like a dartboard in his coach's office now. He's like, that's Sean Payton. He's sitting there talking a bunch of trash before the game.
Vrabel will use it.
Vrabel's smoking some darts in his room right now, just like this guy.
Angry.
Yeah.
Like McConaughey in that one. Smoking that cigarette. Yeah, someone saying Tennessee should get Kenny Chandler. Well, yeah, what about like Keon Johnson? I mean, Tennessee, a lot of guys with eligibility of the Rick Barnes era who well, shoot, Grant Williams. Well, he still has a year, doesn't he? Grant Williams has a year. Grant Williams will be amazing for this team
back
right now.
Yeah, they need him.
That little physicality inside, stretch the deep. Absolutely. No, it's LeBron to Ohio State. I mean, it's wild, man. Because it's like, so why are we distinguishing? I mean, seriously, like we were kind of joking about it before with the Baylor thing, but it's like if they're going to blow through the signing NBA contract, then that really is like any NBA player who has eligibility can play college basketball. Why wouldn't they be able to?
Exactly.
And how could you stop them?
It's a great question. Ian has found me a fox hunting guide, a glossary on the internet that he has sent over. A couple of really interesting terms in here, including a thong, the long, flexible, braided leather portion of a hunting whip.
The
joining
what?
The thong of a hunting whip, joining the lash to the crop. Also, tally-ho, a term in fox hunting, yelled by the staff member who views the fox.
Tally-ho!
Can also be given by a member of the field if no staff views. Members of the field should be very careful to only tally-ho when they are certain they are viewing the hunted fox that the staff hasn't seen.
So tally-ho is about fox. I had no idea. That's amazing.
That's what
also,
the glossary says.
They play the thong song, the national anthem, then the thong song before they hunt foxes.
I mean, there's all sorts of terms here. This is, feather. A hound feathers when he indicates by actions rather than voice that he is on a line or near it. There's an entire new world of a fox hunting guide that Ian has found me here.
Wow. Between that and the Jacksonville restroom, we've really provided a lot of content for people in case they're holed into their home with no power.
I would encourage you, if you find yourself bored this weekend, I'd start looking up some fox hunting terms. It's kind of amazing. Now all I can think about is Amy Adams Strunk out there shouting tally-ho. Tally-ho!
Is that like
we got our fox?
Maybe she yelled that when they
hired Robert
Saleh. Yeah.
We got our guy.
There you go.
Tally-ho.
Wow. What a world.
What a world. 615-737-1025. Our phone number, 615-737-1025. The Rob Rant coming up next. TD will be with us at 8 o'clock. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Don't make me angry.
Sometimes you have to tell someone to pound sand.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
This is the Rob Rant. Now on Robby and Rexrode.
102.5 The Game. You come for sports takes, you stay for gout updates.
Sorry, I went to Walmart. I had to buy 19 loaves of bread.
Which one of you has gout?
Cover my body in bread this weekend.
I drink a lot of milk.
Including a thong, the long, flexible, braided leather portion of a hunting whip.
As we drove in, there was a big thong.
Tennessee football getting beat by a dude kicking field goals on a thong.
And then just pour syrup all over it.
I wanted a biscuit.
The what?
Joining the thong.
Katie, I'm waiting.
Boy, did that make me mad.
Vibing, 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 vibe, 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 vibe. We're vibing, Robby.
It is time for the Rob Rant, brought to you by Functional Medicine of Tennessee. Heal from the inside out. Check them out at functionalmedicineoftennessee.net.
Ian trying to mess with my life.
I really hope Katie's listening right now. I always hope Katie's listening.
I think Katie listens during the rant time a lot.
that's good,
No, it's not good.
especially today. It's good. I've got 19 loaves of bread. Katie.
Let's make some French toast.
Well, it's kind of amazing we're talking about loaves of bread because that's what I'm talking about today. I want to speak to, my people today. I'm born and raised here. I understand. What's about to happen to us this weekend, we just don't experience a lot, right? I mean, we don't get a lot of snow in general. We certainly don't get a lot of, oh my goodness, there's some snow coming, but there also could be some debilitating ice. And we talked about it earlier in the show. Like, it's a serious deal coming up this weekend. So I don't want to minimize that. Let me start on that front. However, I'm driving around my neck of the woods yesterday, and there's this spot where you come to a red light, and next to the red light, there's this little grocery store / market, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, it's for whatever reason, this red light also takes forever. So you're sitting there, you're waiting. So I'm looking around, and I look over in the parking lot of this market, and all of a sudden this lady comes strolling out. She's got her grocery cart. She's strolling out to her car. And again, I'm probably 11 feet away from her where this road kind of lines up. So I can see everything. Like, I see everything she's got in the cart, and I start like doing some rough counting because it was just so mind blowing to me immediately off the bat. I was like, this lady has legitimately 9 loaves of bread in her cart right now. 9. What are we doing? Like, I understand that there's some concern here about, if the power goes out, that's legitimately concerning. That's a big problem. The temperatures are going to get cold. I get all that. So, I kept driving down the road, and there's people lined up at gas stations, and they're like filling their little portable gas cans up with gas for generators and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, I understand. I don't get the 9 loaves of bread. Like, what are we doing with the 9 loaves of bread? Now, look, there's a chance that lady, I have no idea what that lady was doing. She could have been getting in the car, going out to hand out these loaves of bread to people.
That'd be nice.
She could be, in charge of some big facility somewhere where people are going to hunker down this weekend. So far be it from me to say it's arrogant of me to just assume I know what this lady's doing. But statistics would probably say, Joe, that she's probably going home, right? Like, she's going home with 9 loaves of bread. Meanwhile, the people out there that need bread are probably looking around going, where'd all the bread go? Oh, it's with that lady out there in the parking lot. It's got 9 loaves of it heading back to her car. Can we calm it down a little bit? That's all I'm asking for. Like, I understand it's a big deal coming in this weekend. Do we need to go buy up the entire grocery store?
Yeah, because
and put it at one place.
Right, because what you're doing is like you are denying other people. Like, just be reasonable. I mean, right now I'm texting with Katie, or have been. Katie, you out there? Hello. Got any log cabin? And it's like, well, we need to go get bottled water, and I'm like, yeah, we probably should have before, but we can look. Like, I don't even know. Are we gonna be able to get bottled water at a store right now?
I don't know.
And again, I guess if that's because everybody's going to get one, okay, fine. But yeah, it's the people that are hoarding it. It's like, so you're kind of changing the math, and really, like, unless you are, like you said, unless you're someone that's for a lot of people,
Sure,
then good for you.
9.
But if it's not, then yeah, like, how? Like, what are you going to do with that? Like, how long do you think you're going to be bunkered up, and how many sandwiches do you need?
That's what my mouth was. The light turned green at some point, and I was still just standing there like, oh my goodness,
This is ridiculous.
this lady's got 9 loaves of bread. I counted twice just to make sure. I was like, yep, 9. That's where they got. And I mean, I wasn't close enough to determine like, all right, how many are wheat? Is that white bread over there? We got rye. Like,
Little
what's going
rye
on?
in there?
I don't know what's going on.
Make
But
a Reuben.
as far as I can tell, it's all just kind of look like the same bread. So 9 loaves of bread heading into this. So I was just floored by this. Apparently this is happening all over the place, though. Like, people are just going in and buying up everything.
Yeah, and again, it's like it does look. I mean, it does look like from Saturday, possibly for like a week, because of the sub freezing. Then whatever happens
Could
be
have limited melting.
Yeah. Like whatever. So
I mean, it could be a problem.
A week is no small thing, but then it's like, do you not normally have any food at your home? It's like oh my God, we should have food in our fridge and pantry. Like, I guess if that's the case, then go for it. But yeah, I mean, most people have food too, right? Some food at home,
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe not now. Lady's buying up all the bread. Trevor says that lady can have all the bread. I loaded up on Red Bull and frozen pizzas. There we go.
Yeah, but if you're out of power, what are you gonna do with that frozen pizza, buddy?
Light a fire, man. Put that pizza over the top of it. Just hold it. Got nothing else to do. I've been watching the Outdoor Boys on YouTube.
Lots of soup.
I feel like I'm prepared for this coming up this weekend.
Outdoor Boys.
Yeah, it's very, very popular.
This is a YouTube
channel.
show.
Yeah, they get like millions of views. Where this dude just goes out in the woods of Alaska, and he just like survives for a few days, making shelters out of trees and all this other stuff.
He just like proves that he can do it.
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. Oh, Ben says people are buying bread to sell. See, that's to sell for
to resell
price.
the bread.
If she's reselling,
where are they making
bread,
these deals at?
If she's reselling the bread, man, no way.
Where are you reselling the bread?
It's like a lemonade stand.
Yeah, like is there some meetup point?
I mean, my grandparents used to tell me about waiting in lines for a loaf of bread during the Depression, but I don't think that's this. Hey, loaf of bread, $27.
Liam says, walking past empty shelves last night, I saw a sad old lady studying the last bag of shredded cheese, probably trying to figure out how to feed her family with the last 6 ounces of Colby Jack in the mid-state. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you start buying up 25 loaves of bread to take home, people actually need that stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Think of others. I know that it's hard.
Well, I don't know what the obsession is with bread in a winter storm. It's like, well, we got to have bread. Got to go get the bread very quickly.
I do think, like, again, because we've been talking about all this. Okay, what if we obviously we can't cook all this other stuff. So obviously bread is like you can keep you get bread and you can keep sandwich meat. I mean, even if you run out of power or whatever, you can
keep it outside.
Yeah, like so. I mean, I guess like from that perspective, if you're totally out of everything else, that's about all you're down
PB&J.
to.
Don't worry, guys. I got another 8 loaves in here. We're fine.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, like how many loaves would it take to cover my entire body in bread?
Well,
2?
Only one way to find out.
I'll get back to you.
Jeez. So just be careful today out there. People are a little on edge, I think. A little on edge with the storm coming in. And again,
and I get it.
We don't deal with stuff like this very often. So, like I said to begin the show, as a station, we'll keep you updated as best as possible in terms of the impact and where things are going this weekend. But let's just ease up on the bread a little bit. That's kind of my message to the general public today. Let's ease up on the bread unless absolutely necessary.
Think about a week, what you would consume in a week. And then if you do that, then like I think everybody will be able to get stuff. If you load up for 2 months, which you don't need to do, then you're screwing somebody else over.
615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025. Teron Davenport will be with us coming up next. We'll get into all things Tennessee Titans with him, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
ESPN's Turon Davenport, Talking Titans, now on Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is that time of the week, Friday morning at 8 o'clock. And that only means one thing. TD with us now on the program. Turon Davenport from ESPN, fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com, your one-stop petroleum solution. TD with us on our phone line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Turon, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning. Are you prepared for Snowmageddon 2026?
Yeah, hopefully, it comes and goes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got the flight to Mobile on Tuesday, so be able to escape a little bit, but we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens on that front.
Actually, Mobile will be fine.
Mobile will be fine down there.
Yeah,
I looked at
just got to get there.
Yeah. Sometime I'll be able to get up out of there.
Absolutely. So, TD, let's just start. It's, obviously been a very busy week for the Titans here with the hiring of Robert Saleh. What do you like most about the hiring of Saleh for the Titans, and maybe what's your biggest question still left to be answered when it comes to Saleh as a head coach, Saleh in the next stop? What did he learn from stop one to stop two? Whatever that is, what's maybe your biggest question on the Saleh front?
Yeah, I probably would say just the defensive acumen that he brings as far as, the defense, at least up front, that's going to be good. We'll see how the secondary is, but I think that's a really good thing. Also, as you mentioned, the learning aspect, the idea that he learned better how important it is and how to do it as far as reaching out to the whole roster and connecting with everybody, not just the defensive guys. So that's important. The biggest question, though, is easily what is he going to do at coordinator? Because we know everything's going to match up with Jeffrey Simmons, but you got to bring somebody that's going to have a scheme and program that's going to match up with Cam Ward. You get those two things solved, then you're kind of on the right track towards getting this thing together.
How much do you think scheme matters in that discussion, TD? Because I just would naturally assume that Saleh would be going with a guy from the Shanahan McVay, from that offense, that new West Coast, whatever you want to call it. And obviously there's a lot of talk about Daboll, which is the Earhart Perkins. But, there's also a lot of, everybody takes stuff from people and things like that. But it's definitely a different terminology deal and all that. How big of a deal is that? Like, Cam Ward has been in that one version of that offense for 1 year. Saleh's been around it his whole career. If they make that switch, big deal or no big deal?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal just as far as the, having things drawn up. But to me, the biggest part of play calling outside of having the guys to make things happen, right, to kind of supersede the play calling is the timing, right? There's an art to it. You got to be able to know when to dial up that play action, know when to throw that screen pass, and know how to layer things and build it up. So, like, you give a look, and then next thing you know, you're like, okay, I got them because they're doing this on this look. Now we're going to do this because they're going to act that way. And then that's really when the magic starts to happen. So I think the scheme is important, but the art of calling the play is even more important.
Well, on that point, because I watch a decent amount of, Daboll. He gets the main thing he gets credit for, of course, is Josh Allen. But as a play caller, what is your impression of him? What is he that kind of guy who can layer things and set things up whereas like we saw with Callahan, that wasn't really a strength?
Yeah, I think so. And it's a matter of the timing and everything. I think he is capable of that. The head coaching aspect, I think, is probably not his strength, but the play calling is. I think he's a pretty good offensive coordinator.
So, TD, Daboll still up for Buffalo's job, and we'll see what the Bills end up deciding to do here. But if it's not him, whether it's Arthur Smith, Adam Stenovich has been thrown out there, who's the OC in Green Bay, who doesn't call the plays, but he's been with LaFleur for a while at this point. You've got, obviously, Cliff Kingsbury that's floating around out there. Who are some names? If Daboll, let's say Daboll becomes the head coach of the Bills, where do you think the Titans maybe pivot after that?
Yeah, I think you said the three names that are the ones you look at. One other, Bobby Slowik. He's obviously someone you got to consider because of the ties he has to Saleh and going back to the, the 49er days. So I think that's another one. So those would probably be the 5 that I would keep in mind. Well, the 4 outside of Dabo.
Would it bother you if Stenavich is the guy simply from the standpoint that he's never called plays before?
No, I don't think it would bother me. I think he may not have called the plays before, but he saw the way a guy that is really good at calling the plays did it. So I think that's a good thing. And for me, I look at the development of Malik Willis. I look at the way Jordan Love came along, and I say, you know what? Adam Stenavich is a guy that I think would probably be good for Cam Ward. Just seeing how he's been a part of 2 other guys developing pretty well.
On the other side of the ball, Saleh has said he wants to be a defensive play calling head coach. So what do you think about that? I know it's like everybody loves the offensive play calling head coach, but I for whatever reason, I'm like, man, I just feel like he should be more like locked in with both sides of the ball than calling defensive plays. But he thought that he was too detached, I guess, with the Jets. So what do you think about that? And then what does that leave for a defensive coordinator? Does that limit, your options for getting a defensive coordinator? Does that just lessen the importance of who you get as your defensive coordinator?
No, I don't think it lessens the importance at all. I think really when you look at Robert Saleh, and I talked about this yesterday on Next Man Up and posted some things on X soon after. The thing with Robert Saleh, the front is going to be good, and he's going to call the defense well. I just think that he's going to have to get away from that cover 3 look that he likes to do a lot. But also you got to make sure that you get someone strong secondary wise. And I think that's the key, because you look at his past, right? His first 2 years as coordinator at the 49ers, his defensive coordinator is a guy that Robby likes a lot, Jeff Hafley.
Yep.
Or not his secondary coach, right? And then you look at, he had Joe Webb after that, who was a long-term secondary guy. And then you look, he had Tony Oden for 4 years. And 2 of those 4 years with Tony Oden, he had Marquand Manuel. So he's always had a very strong secondary coach. And I think that's where the key is, because he's going to lean on that secondary coach, that defensive pass game coordinator. That's who he's going to lean on. So in essence, that's kind of like the defensive coordinator for him. Me personally, looking at this, I thought Denard Wilson would have been the perfect guy for him as a defensive coordinator, just because of his strengths as far as in the secondary, but then it also allows him to merge 2 schemes. And I think that would have been a good marriage. Obviously, it didn't happen, and we'll see who he picks. I mean, he's had good coordinators and linebacker coaches also in the past, Jeff Ulbrich, D'Amico Ryans, what I mean? He's had different guys.
So we expecting then, I guess, a 4-3 and kind of like a wide 9 kind of approach then? Is that what we should expect? And if so, how does that fit in with the personnel we know will be on the field next year for the Titans?
Yeah, I think that is what you should expect. And for me, when I look at this, it's like, oh, wait a minute. James Williams Sr. is going to get an opportunity, and I think it also puts Cedric Gray better into position. This is not playing Will, and playing Mike, right? And I think you put James Williams in there as a Will, and I think that is an area where he could excel. We'll see what they do with Cody Barton, but, you look at one of the stops that he had in Jacksonville, right? And PK, he did a good job tracking down Paul Puslowski. And while he was there, he had Telvin Smith next to him, and Telvin Smith really played excellent football until he had that whole mess that he had going on. And you look at Telvin Smith, you look at James Williams, they're in essence the same player. So there is an opportunity for him. He has a skill set to excel.
TD, how big a deal in your mind for the Titans to get John Fossil back in the fold with Robert Saleh here?
It's huge, but you know what? I think that needs to be a package deal. They need to make sure Renee Stewart is there too. We'll see what happens from that aspect. I look forward to seeing him out there and just getting another year of him in those awesome press conferences. Every Tuesday was kind of like the highlight of the day. It was really fun talking to him and getting some of the amazing answers that he would do. And yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. He was, smart to do that to keep him.
So back on the defense, CD. So then with the front, a guy like Oladejo, for example, how does he fit? How does Sweat and Simmons work in that kind of? I mean, obviously Simmons can move around wherever, and he's going to be effective. But
Yeah, exactly.
And then what kind of some of these guys, if they do end up going with like an edge or something like that, is there somebody that comes to mind for you who would be ideally suited for that? I know everybody talks about Bane, obviously, like, he's got to be a 3 tech because of the arms or whatever. But like, does anybody come to mind schematically who would be perfect?
Yeah, I think you mentioned Bane, and you talk about the arms, and I would encourage people to go ahead and listen to Talking with TD, because we had Drew Fabianich, who's the executive director of the Senior Bowl, and he recruited Bane to Auburn. But there was kind of a flip there, obviously, and he ended up at Miami. But he talked about, how you could move Bane around. You could bump him inside, as you mentioned, the 3 tech. But also, I asked him, and I told him what I thought as well. And you put him on the edge, and you allow him to rush like as a wide rusher. And when he does that, you have that one arm stab, right? That 32-inch arm becomes like 35, 36, because you're just, you're extending the one arm. So to me, the arms aren't as big of a deal. And then also, when you look at these other prospects, I think Avril Reese is still in play, and I had to kind of check myself, because I was like, nah, he's not a guy, he's too small. But then you go and you look at it, he's listed at 6'4", 243. A guy in Houston by the name of Will Anderson Jr. is the same exact size. So, we'll see how the body composition matches up. But I think if you could get him off the edge and have him coming on that wide 9 with that crazy first step, he's a guy that would be awesome. And then obviously David Bailey is another one that you look at. So
love him.
Yeah, man. You know what I love about him? And usually I don't like guys that have zero swag, but he's out there just raw dogging it, man. No gloves. He got that ugly number 31, and no wristbands, nothing, man. He
just killing
out
people.
There raw, making it happen. Yeah.
All right, TD, last thing for you here. Who you got in conference championship weekend this weekend?
Yeah, good question. I got to go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots and the Seahawks. I think they win it. I think Sam Darnold, he wins another big game. Well, he's a part of that. I don't know that they'll win strictly because of him. It's more the defense. And I got the Patriots and Seahawks, and I got the Patriots winning. And Nashville is going to be under the weather like me right now. When Vrabel wins it.
Vrabel's going to be firing up some darts after that. It'd be crazy out there. Oh boy.
Seriously, is he light up a camel light right in the post game thing, man?
Hand me that Lombardi. There we go.
He's a Marlboro guy, man.
Oh, that's right. He's a Marlboro light guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, can you imagine if that happens? TD, it's going to be awesome, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us. Very interested to see how the staff shakes out here with Robert Saleh and conference championship weekend this weekend. But stay safe this weekend, my man, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, for sure. Appreciate it, man. And shout out Vandy women's basketball, man. I went to see them last night, and Aubrey Colvin, Caleb Blakes. That's a 1-2 punch or something else, man.
Yeah, the freshman's got some sweet little moves too,
Man, she is, man. They call her white chocolate. They say she's a female Jason Williams, man.
They're off to a heck of a start. No doubt about it. Thank you, TD. Appreciate it.
All right, for sure. Peace.
Teron Davenport with us every Friday morning at 8 o'clock on the program. Fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com. Your one-stop petroleum solution. We'll react to what TD had to say there. We got Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Appreciate TD for being with us in the last segment. We got Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30, the second to last edition of Pigskin Pick'em for the season. We'll see how it goes. A battle.
Yes, I see the look on your face. You've already won.
No, it's not over.
Gloat, man.
It's not over.
Yeah.
Now, there's a chance it could be over after this week, but it's not over.
I mean, if one of us does the opposite of you on every single pick for the last two Pigskin Pick'ems, then
there's a chance
we could tie you.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can win. You can get the lock.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's true. You got 14 points available with the locks.
Yeah.
It's Ian versus Joe. Who's buying your pizza? Which is a worthwhile. I mean, I'm in. I'm intense.
All in.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a finish.
Let's see how it goes.
For second place.
Interesting stuff there from TD on the defensive scheme front there from Saleh and some guys he thinks could be a fit for that here. I mean, the Ruben Bain part of this, as we go through the draft process, it's going to be very interesting to see how he ends up shaking out in the aftermath of all that. Because you watch him play and you're like, yeah, I feel pretty good about that guy being able to play good football on Sundays. But then people are going to get caught up in how big of his arms. And
yeah. Well, yeah. The interesting thing about him is, I know we got a lot of time to get into all this stuff, but I will say, like, he is at least he's a couple inches shorter, but physically kind of in the mold of Danico Autry. Now he's definitely more of a, he's a fast, he's got a faster. But I'm just saying, like, Danico Autry is an example of a guy who just, you can just move around different spots, and he's just a hell of a football player, And I think that so Ruben Bain, yeah, maybe he has to play three technique for the most part, in this league. But I'll take him on my defense. But I honestly, of all those guys, Bailey is. If anybody watched him at all at Texas Tech, he's dominant. I would be willing to, if I have to just guess right now, who is going to have the most productive NFL career of those three guys that TD just talked about there. I'd go with Bailey quickly. I'm wrong a lot, though. That's the problem.
Is he wearing gloves at the NFL level? He's keeping it the way it is. I kind of respect it.
Yeah. Just go out there and, old school.
Old school. Sean on the text line, does Saleh call plays until he's comfortable enough with his DC to eventually turn that over? I'm not a believer in your head coach being too focused on one side of the ball. That was one of his problems in New York, bad game management.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, my guess is if he turns things over calling plays defensively, it probably would signal that it ain't going very well defensively. So probably not the way you want to start if you're Robert Saleh.
Exactly. You'd rather that be like season to season change. Okay, you know what? This year, whoever the DC is, you know what? I think he's got a great feel, and then this will allow me. But yeah, if it's in the middle of a season, then it's like, oh, so we've lost 4 in a row, and I just need to give that up. And yeah, where it's going from there. So I'm with you, Sean. I'm with you, Sean, on like being too focused on one side of the ball. But again, what he would tell you is that one of his problems in New York is that he wasn't locked in enough on the defensive stuff. But then again, it's like, well, their D was pretty freaking good. It was their offense that was bad. So I'm generally with you. Like, I think it'd be better if he had a defensive coordinator who called the plays. But it looks like he's going to start out at least trying it, doing it himself.
Well, and the Brian Daboll completing interviews or an interview with the Bills yesterday, and I think Mike McDaniel is today when it comes to the Bills and the head coaching interview. So we've had people ask about Mike McDaniel today, and it's like, well, isn't he with the Chargers? From everything I can tell, he is taking the Chargers job if he doesn't land like the Bills head coaching job.
Hey, thanks, John.
Or another head coaching job.
John, love it, man. I'm so excited to join you. Oh, hey, John. Hey, I'm just going to pop over to Buffalo. I'm probably going to be your OC. Okay?
Actually, the interview will be taking place at the Pagula's winter residence in Florida.
Well, there
today.
You go.
So there you go.
That's good.
Oh, well, he's probably already still down there, right? Packing up his stuff.
Don't have to head to snowy Buffalo. I don't know what the forecast looks like up there this weekend.
Yeah, they're like, this is whatever.
Yeah.
This is like
just another
day
day.
that ends in Y.
What where in Florida? Does it say?
It does not.
I just wonder if they're on like the Miami side up like him or the other side.
Josh Allen will be there.
Oh,
wow.
Brandon Bean, the Pagulas,
wow.
and some execs.
The Pagula, Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay. So it is on the Miami side.
Yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued by Mike McDaniel. Like, if I was a Bills fan, I'd be way more excited about that than thinking about Dayball coming back.
I agree.
Maybe Bills fans disagree. They're like, no, he was here when Josh Allen turned into a great player. I don't know, man. I think McDaniel has good head coaching ahead of him in this league. I'm not sure about Dayball. I think Dayball may have Nashville in his future.
He might. Very well might. And then, if it's McDaniel, all of a sudden, if you're Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh out there, you got to pivot at that point.
Right. You got to pivot from your OC. And by the way, the Ravens, who just fired your brother, just stole away your DC.
Yeah. What do you make of Jesse Minter as head coach of the Ravens and that being the choice?
I made the joke earlier, but it's true. Like, I did like a story where I sat in with Vanderbilt all day on signing day, and he was Clark Lee's defensive coordinator. I think it was 3 years ago. And he was good, but also it was like, I felt like he was about 23, Then, of course, he goes to Michigan, takes that job. Good jump for him. Also, if there was anybody who was absolutely attached to the hip to Connor Stallions, it was Jesse Minter. Go back and watch the Ohio State clips. It's like Connor Stallions is like, da-da-da-da-da, and just like, oh, yeah, we changed. It's like, wow, Michigan blew up that play. How did they do it? Which is why Jesse Minter will not be in college football anytime soon because he has a multi-year show cause. But
that was 21.
In the NFL, do people care? It's the NFL.
God, he looks so much like Nate Bargatze. It's crazy how much he looks like Nate Bargatze.
God, I hadn't thought about that. That is weird. But obviously he's very impressive. He's a fast riser. And for the Ravens to Jesse Minter, very young, very recent addition to the NFL at all as a DC. Yeah, you're our head coach. That is a heck of good for him. That's a heck of a jump.
By the way, Eric in Buffalo has weighed in. Says single digits for today and Saturday with a chance of 2 feet of snow Sunday night in Buffalo.
So a regular Tuesday. Sounds good.
Good idea to head down to Florida then.
Stay safe
if you're Pagulas.
Like, people there don't even have cars. They all just have snow trucks,
You see the movie Snow
Stock
Dogs?
plows around.
Yeah, it's like doing the what's that racing?
Iditarod, yeah.
Oh, the Iditarod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Iditarod every day in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't head over the falls. Everything's going to be fine.
Maybe we should go there.
Yeah, go to Buffalo. That'll go well.
At least the
Probably
roads will be clear. They got it figured out.
615-737-1025, our phone number. Pigskin Pick'em coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Now, it's time for Pigskin Pick'em with Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for Pigskin Pick'em here on 1025 The Game. Conference Championship weekend in the NFL. We got the Patriots taking on the Broncos in the AFC title game. The LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC title game. And we got a lot of picks to get into on that front. The standings in the competition. Last week, Rexrode with the best week, 3-3. He got his lock. I also went 3-3, did not get my lock. Ian 2-4, no lock, which brings the overall standings in first place. Robby Stanley, 71-61 overall, 11-11 on the locks, 82 points. Ian Safar, 63-69, 7-15 on his locks, 70 points. Rexrode, 58-74 overall, 12-10 on his locks, also 70 points. The competition fierce as we head down the stretch. We begin with the Patriots and the Broncos coming up on Sunday. The Patriots, a 4.5-point favorite on the road in this one. Give me the New England Patriots. I will take the Patriots minus the 4.5 on the road. You know, Denver's defense is good enough to win this one. They are good enough to win this game. But I think ultimately Drake May will make enough plays in this one, and the Patriots will cover the spread, and they will advance to the Super Bowl. Ian Safar, Patriots, favored by 4.5.
I think I'm also going to take the Patriots to cover. I think their defense is good. Probably not as good as Denver. Well, not as good as Denver's, obviously. But I think New England's offense will be that much better than Denver's. I think it'll be enough. I'm going to take the Patriots to cover, actually.
Joe Rexrode, the Patriots favored by 4.5 in this one.
Patriots 16, Broncos 13, which means I'm taking the Broncos to cover. But I think the Patriots win this sucker on a late field goal, and I don't like either team, which I guess I'm giving away my next pick on that too, to hit the 20s.
There you go. The Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC title game. Seattle is favored by 2.5 at home. Ian Safar, you're up first in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams on the road. It's a tough one. Seahawks have been very impressive, just overall team-wise. You know, I feel like Mike McDonald. Is it McDonald? Yeah. I think he might have won Coach of the Year, given Seattle just the overall team play. When you consider offense, defense, and special teams, every week they find different ways to win, and they're a very good overall team.
Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe it's only a field goal. I'm going to take the Rams, I think, though.
Ian going with the Rams in this one. Joe Rexrode, Seahawks favored by 2.5.
Yep. I'm also going with the Rams. I just think Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and the running game, enough on defense to give Sam Darnold some trouble, get to him a little bit in the pocket. I'll take the Rams.
I'm going Seattle, and I'm locking down on Seattle.
Guarantee.
I think Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl. I think Seattle is the best team left. I think that, we'll see when push comes to shove at some point if they're going to win the Super Bowl. Darnold's going to have to make some huge plays along the way. But their defense is just legit. They've got playmakers all over the field. They just feel like a well-oiled machine right now. And you worried a little bit maybe about the 2-week layoff affecting them. We've seen that happen in the playoffs. I understand San Francisco's banged up, but they could have won that game by 70 points if they wanted to. Seattle, I'll take them minus the 2.5, and I'll lock down on that one. Back to Patriots Broncos. The over-under is at 42.5. Joe, do we even need to ask at this point?
No, it's just basically whether it's my lock or not. Almost, but not quite. Give me the under.
Going with the under. I am also going the under in this one, so I will take the under. Ian Safar, over-under 42.5 for Patriots and Broncos.
Oh, no. I'm taking the over.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, last week.
It's not a big number.
Yeah. And I mean, Buffalo put up 30 on them.
Yep.
I know it's Josh Allen pretty much did that all by himself. Drake May's playing just as well as Josh Allen. Their offense is more well-rounded. They have all their playmakers. So I think they can put up some points. I don't know how much Denver will score, but I think I'm going to take the over.
Ian going the over, 42.5. In the NFC title game, the over-under is 46.5 between the Rams and the Seahawks. I will go over in that one. I'm going with the over in that one. I think that one's going to be a fun game. It's been a fun game every time they've played. So I'll go with round 3 being equally as entertaining. Ian, who we got in the over-under for the Rams and the Seahawks?
I don't know. I'm going under. I kind of feel like both offenses are okay, but they're not clicking on full cylinders. I don't think either offense. I don't know who the other receiver is opposite JSN. Charbonnet is out for Seattle. The Rams defense is playing better. They held Chicago better than I thought they would. So I'm going to take the under in this one in a low scoring 20-17 type game.
Ian going under in this one. Joe Rexrode, over or under 46.5 between the Rams and the Seahawks?
Yeah, I'm over. I think it's going to be like a little bit more like a 27-24 type thing. So Ian and I have a lot against each other.
You do,
which is good.
It's going to be a
yes,
very telling week in the competition here. Perhaps my favorite prop bet of this weekend. Jarrett Stidham, over under passing yards. It's set at 198.5. Ian Safari, you're up first. Are you going over or under Jarrett Stidham at 198.5 yards?
I think I'm going to, just go with my narrative. As with the over, I'm going to take the over on Stidham.
Ian's got faith in Jarrett Stidham. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much faith in him, but I think just overall, I don't know. I'm feeling some points in this game for some reason.
Okay. Ian going over 198.5 for Jarrett Stidham. Joe Rexrode, over or under for Jarrett Stidham in this game?
He's passing for 37 yards. Give me the under and make it my lock.
Guarantee.
7 for 21 for 37 yards.
Jeez.
Imagine that. That'd be like 1.2 per attempt.
That would not be good. I will go under. I will go under 198.5, but I do think it'll be close. I think he's going to throw for like 187. That's my number. 187 is what he'll throw for, but that will land at the under. All right. Who has more receiving yards? Puka Nacua or Jackson Smith in Jigba? Joe, you're up first in this one. You taking Puka Nacua or JSN?
Both great players, but I got to go with Puka. And you could look at it like, are the Rams going to be behind and having to catch up? And they just find all these different ways to get him the ball, and I've got to go with him.
Give me JSN. I think JSN's going to have a big game in this one. I'll take him in this matchup. Ian, Puka or JSN with the more receiving yards in this game?
I'm going to go Puka. And I'm going to lock that one.
Locking down. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with either guy. Puka's been pretty darn good throughout the year.
Yeah, I like that one, though. I actually like both the props there. They're fun.
So, if it plays out the way that we all think that it will, it's going to be a very interesting conference championship weekend, first off. But we all have the Patriots winning. Ian and I have the Patriots covering. So, at this point, if the Broncos punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, the only person I've seen that's associated with our program that has picked the Broncos to win this game is Charles Robinson. Charles Robinson with a chance to make us all look pretty stupid this weekend.
But I don't think he's told. I mean,
he's not totally, but just associated with our program.
Yeah, for sure. But I've seen more of that in general out there than I expected. But I get it. It's home. It's great defense, and it just happens so often, doesn't it, in sports where it's like a team loses someone. And it's like, oh, they are screwed. And then they find I think a great example of this always is Ryan Johansson getting, the compartment syndrome thing, going back out to Anaheim for game 5. And it's like, oh my God, they just end the season now. And they go out and win that game and win the next one and go to the cup final. So it's definitely possible. But I thought there'd be a little bit more. Yeah, Patriots going to win.
Yeah. Chris on the text line says he's just going to fade us and make some money. Maybe not a bad strategy.
Well, it's not a bad strategy, but we're not all in agreement. So fade us, as in me and Ian, is what you want to fade. Robbie's actually doing pretty well this year.
A lot of people talking about your overall record on the text line right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
58-74.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's the worst I've ever done. I can promise you that. I think normally at least above 500. Brutal year. Some people also are saying that we really need to get back to, figuring out like the alternative national anthem too. So
well, we're open to suggestions.
Yeah. Actually, Jake Lyman just got an next man up coming up. So, maybe he can take that on. Jake Lyman. He's like, what? What do I have to do? People.
You guys ever thought about changing the national anthem?
Someone was
How do we
like,
go about doing that?
someone was like, that's one of the craziest opinions ever on your show. And you used to have Stillman on regularly.
Yeah. It's a fair point.
Your thoughts?
Yeah. You guys think I should get rid of the Star Spangled Banner? Thanks. I'll hang up and listen. Appreciate it. Like I said earlier, everybody knows when you need something changed around here in this country, this is the show you call.
Yeah.
Robby and Rexrode.
This is the play with grassroots change.
Yep.
Right here.
We'll take your final thoughts on Conference Championship weekend. We will get back into the Preds' big win last night against the Ottawa Senators. All that to wrap up the show next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Final segment of the day, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Joe, the Chiefs put out a graphic about 45 minutes ago talking about Matt Nagy. Says, forever a Super Bowl champ. Thanks for everything, Coach Nagy. And the replies underneath, he's just getting smoked by Chiefs fans.
Please don't leave, Matt.
Yeah.
I know you'll get a head coaching job somewhere.
Don't see a whole lot of those.
Man. Yeah, it's just, it's like if you're like it's the right thing to do to put out a social media.
Sure.
But if it's not someone who's, especially like OCs, I swear OCs are like the most hated people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about that. They're the most criticized people in sports.
Yeah.
So you just know it's going to be nothing but just vile hatred when you post that,
I mean, I can't even say on the air some of the stuff that's been posted underneath this. It's crazy.
What are the replies to the super dorky picture the Titans put out of Borgonzi and Saleh? I haven't looked.
Let's go see.
It's, hey, little buddy. Borgonzi. Little beanie on.
I mean, the first one is from at Millennial Raven, who says, so sorry you had to go to that dumpster fire of an organization.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Got other teams' fans.
Ravens fans coming in
Getting
here
in
talking
here.
trash to the man. You should be celebrating Jesse Minter. What do Ravens fans do out there? They say about Jesse Minter as their head coach?
Some people asking why it looks so awkward. Somebody says, I declare a thumb war, talking about the handshake that they're doing there.
Go.
Yeah, the replies anywhere typically pretty entertaining. So good stuff there on the Titans front.
Yeah. Look, not a video, which I think that's progress. You have a little still shot that looks like that. You're going to have some, it opens up another door of being made fun of, but
it does.
Let's just, while we wait for Saleh to talk, and
we'll be waiting.
Scheduled for Wednesday. We'll see, if the roads are just sheets of ice by then, but let's really, really hope that the Tennessee Titans are done with the full office building. Come out of your office and cheer on the new employee.
That'd be nice.
And if you do that, don't share
record it
with the general public.
Just do it in the nice privacy of your own building.
A lot of teams do that.
They do. It's become unfortunately
it's bad every time.
Yeah, it's unfortunately become a thing in sports. Preds with a big win last night. They were down 3-0 against the Ottawa Senators. Looked like they were dead in the water. And then a hat trick from Steven Stamkos. They score 5 in a row, and they win 5-3 yesterday in Roman Yossi's 1,000th game. Does a big result for them last night. They had lost 2 games in a row heading into that for the first time since, I believe, November the 22nd, somewhere in that neighborhood. So it had been a long time since they had lost 2 games in a row. They were staring at 3 last night, and at a time of the year where you look at the standings, you really can't afford, if you're them, to be going on any sort of substantial losing streak right now. So you're down 3-0. They were getting absolutely nothing done offensively. And then Stamkos found the back of the net on the power play. They got some more looks on the power play in the third period. And then a huge goal from him at the end after O'Reilly somehow got the puck to the front of the net. He swats it in out of midair. And the 16th career hat trick for Steven Stamkos. And a big result for the Predators last night. That's a large win for them when it comes to the playoff race that they're still in.
Yeah. And Stamkos just absolutely on a heater. Ryan O'Reilly playing at a very high level, which is helping them get here, which is making it like, oh boy, should they just, lock it in and just make a run at this? Also, when you're playing like that, you know that other people are going to be coming for him too, and might be throwing out some offers that are going to be hard to refuse. Really interesting situation.
It is. And a situation that, each game here, like they're, as far as I know, playing tomorrow against Utah. That's a huge game. Utah's got the first spot in the wild card right now, just a few points ahead of the Predators. If you can win that game, particularly in regulation, that's a big win for you tomorrow if you can get it. And then, all of a sudden you look at it, you're on the road next week, you're back for a couple of games the first part of February, and then you're gone on the Olympic break. And by the time you come back, it's February the 26th, and the deadline's like a week and a half later. So it's go time when it comes to making decisions on what you're going to do if you're Barry Trotz here. Interested to see around the league what that starts to look like. We've seen some trades already start to trickle in, like Kiefer Sherwood got traded from Vancouver to San Jose. They gave up 2 second-round picks for that one. And heard Friedman on with DVD yesterday. He thinks Sherwood may be getting or looking for somewhere in the neighborhood of a 5-year deal at $5 million per year.
Good Lord. That's just
Yeah.
The former Titans, former Preds.
Yeah.
Flourishing elsewhere. What a dynamic.
He's had a great year.
What a dynamic that is. I had to start laughing because Dustin said that Borgonzi looks like Lord Farquaad and Saleh like Shrek in that picture. That one I had not thought of. Again, I invite anyone who hasn't seen the movie My Bodyguard. I don't know if the movie may not hold up. It's a 70s movie. But Saleh does look like the bully.
I'll take your word for it. I've never seen the movie. But you did show me a picture.
I kind of thought of him as like the bodyguard, you know?
Yeah.
Who was he protecting?
I don't know.
We just talked about it.
You're the movie expert here. I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
I'm saying Saleh, though. And like, were we talking about Borgonzi?
Oh, you're talking about Shrek.
No, but when I was talking about My Bodyguard, I was saying Saleh's like the bodyguard and whoever's like the little kid he's protecting.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that fell flat.
That's on your obscure
Check out
list
My
of
Bodyguard
movies that I need to watch at some point.
Big Joe knows it. Meatballs, also. That was a good one. People forgot about that. Bill Murray, Meatballs.
Never seen it.
It's about camp.
Sounds great.
Have you seen Spinal Tap yet?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
So there you go then.
I would assume you rank that in terms of viewing order. I need to check that out before I do My Bodyguard or Meatballs.
Oh yeah. I don't care if you watch My Bodyguard or Meatballs. What?
This might be the weekend to do that. Catch up on some movies
Let's
now.
see if we have power.
You went with Office Space and you were not disappointed.
It was
I'm not
good,
going to lead you wrong. Yeah. Spinal Tap for sure. I mean, there's others probably. But Spinal Tap is like everyone in society should watch that. Every human should watch Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap.
Hope everybody stays safe this weekend. We will keep you updated as best we can here on the station as the developments once the weather starts coming in tomorrow. Let's take it easy on the bread today. Going back to our conversation, is 9 loaves really necessary? That's the question I think we need to be asking ourselves.
I might swing by the store on my way home, see if there's anything left.
Well,
I don't know
go to the bread aisle first.
What kind of food is left in the stores right now?
Yeah, you might have to get on Facebook Marketplace and buy a loaf for $30.
And if I find somebody reselling loaves of bread out there,
you'll find it, I bet.
I may have to take physical action.
Yeah, we may have to at least dox them, right?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Can't we dox them? The Titans have doxed me. Call me every day, try to see if I buy a sweet.
You bought one yet?
No, I see the number and I get
thinking with your kind of money, you'd get in there and you just write the check.
Yeah, I need a little bit more caviar. Yeah, a little bit more escargot. It's not quite up to my standard.
How's that affect the gallon?
I don't know. What is a snail? Snail's not a sailfish, right? So I think it should be fine.
It has a shell, but it's not a fish.
It's a shell thing. Shell. I don't know. It's a great question. We're running out of time.
What is the national anthem? Can we change it? All these things we discussed today on the show.
What is a foxhole? Do you wear a thong in the foxhole?
Tally ho! Hope everybody has a great
weekend.
Much
went through on the show today.
Stay safe out there. Make sure you have a plan for the weather this weekend. And as far as I know, Preds in action tomorrow, taking on the Utah Mammoth.
Let's hope.
So we'll see how that goes. Next Man Up with Jake Lyman coming up next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game.